it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of Hakuoki Kyoto Winds. So we skipped ahead a little bit because it's stuff that we've already seen before. And our next option is want to come or want to stay behind. Last time we stayed behind. This time we want to go. My mind was made up. I nodded to Harada. I want to help. I would like to participate and help in some way.
お前の気持ちよくわかったぜ。もしその時が来たら、お前も参加できるよう俺も応援してやるよ。
Thanks. Alright, let's see if we can skip here. Oh, we cannot. Okay, so something new. Several days later. Excuse me. I carefully lifted the serving platter with tea for the captains and made my way to the common room.
すまねえな。
すまねえな。そうやってると、まるで故障みたいだな。
Boy. I mean, well, I was a page as far as everyone knew. The thought to correct him crossed my mind, but instead I stayed silent as I passed the tea out.
ありがとう、雪村くん。すまないね。こんな仕事まで頼んでしまって。
Oh, it's nothing. After all, I am Hijikata's page. I spoke barely above a whisper, but Inoue smiled and nodded at me. Okita took a sip of his tea, and a mild grimace flickered across his face. Is something wrong with the tea?
ちょっとぬるいかな。人数分のお茶を用意してぬるくなったんだね。君らしいって言えば君らしいけど。
I'm sorry. I'll make a new batch right now.
いいって。俺ぬるい方が好きだな。すぐに飲めるし。なあ、はじめくん。
うん、そうだな。こうも暑い日にはぬるめの茶もいいかもしれん。
Aw, they're just trying to be nice. It was silent for a second before the door slid open, and Kondu arrived with a stern look upon his face.
会津藩から正式な要請が下った。ただいまより我ら新選組は総員出陣の準備を開始する。
Ow! My ears. Jeez. Oh, I am so sorry, guys. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Huh.
ついに会津藩も我らの働きをお認めくださったのだな。
He looked just as happy with the news as the rest of them. Apparently getting orders directly from the Aizu domain was an occasion for some excitement. Hijikata, however, was the lone exception.
はしゃいでる暇はねえんだ。てめえら、とっとと準備しやがれ。長州の奴らはとっくに今日に来てるんだ。俺たちが遅れてどうする。
As Hijika rebuked the men, the warriors all scattered sequentially to their stations. When it was only the captains and myself remaining in the room, Hijikata vented.
たく、てめえの尻に火がついてから俺らを召喚しても後手だろうがよ。
Thinking back at what happened at Ikeda Inn. While the Shinsengumi were fighting hard, the Aizu domain was elsewhere, and came strolling in way later at the scene. Remembering that incident, I feel like I can understand Hijikata at least to some extent.
沖田君と東堂君は屯所で待機してください。不服でしょうが、私もご一緒しますので。池田屋での負傷が癒えていないように、私の腕も思うように動きませんか。
He rubbed his left arm absently and looked away.
傷が治っていないわけじゃないですけどね、僕の場合。でも確かに本調子じゃないかな。休んでいろって言うなら休みますけど。
俺だって別に大した怪我じゃないけどさ、近藤さんたちが過保護すぎるんだって。
Okita acted as if he didn't hear Sanan at all while Haiseki pouted.
大した怪我じゃないとか嘘つくなよ。昨日も傷口に薬を塗られて悲鳴上げてただろう。
Aww.
うわ、そういうこと言う。佐野さんは武士の情けとかないの。
だが悲鳴上げたってのは本当なんだろうなあ。
ちょっとそういうこと聞くなって。黙っててくれたっていいだろ。
He glanced sideways at me. But Haiseki, it's true that your injury hasn't recovered. His bangs hid the scar rather well, but it still looked painful. Nagakura broke the awkward silence.
そういえば、もし新選組が出陣することになったら、一緒に参加したいとか言ってたよな。
Even though I told Harada that I was into the idea of joining them, it still seemed a little risky.
おお、そうだな。こんな機会は二度とないかもしれん。
For some reason, Kondo was easy to convince. I wasn't expecting him to be so easily swayed.
そいつが行くなら俺も行った方がいいんじゃないか？
Nah, it's alright. You stay here, you get good.
怪我が治ってねえんだろ。豚書で留守番をしてろって。
よかったじゃねえか。
Are you sure it'll be alright? Hichikata and Sanan sighed at the sight of my reservations, which was understandable.
今度も無事で済む保証はねえんだ。お前は豚書でおとなしくしてろ。
君は新選組の足を引っ張るつもりですか？遊びで同行していいものではありませんよ。
三男総長、それは彼女が迷惑をかけなければ同行を許可するという意味の発言ですか？
I blinked. Sato standing up for me? Sanan seemed nearly as surprised as I was.
まさか斎藤君まで彼女を参加させたいというつもりですか
Sato simply shrugged.
彼女は池田屋事件において我々新選組の助けとなりました。働きのみを評価するのであれば一概に足手まといとも言えないかと。
Never in a million years would I have imagined that Sato might have a word of praise for me. My eyes grew wide with elation, and Kondo nodded in agreement.
よし、わかった。君の参加に関しては俺が全責任を持とう。
Sanan still didn't seem convinced. I looked around the room until my eyes met Okita's.
戦場に行くんだって分かってるなら、あとは君の好きにすればいいと思うよ。
It looked like I wasn't about to get any help from Okita, who looked nonplussed either way. Perhaps I'd be able to help them out, like I had during the battle at Ikeda Inn. I nodded. Yes, I would like to participate. Yeah, get it! After that, everything was a blur. As quickly as we could, we prepared for battle and marched to the Fushimi Magistrate's office. A government office that supervised the Fushimi Station and Yodo Riverbank, which was one of the 7 entrances in Kyoto. There were a number of Kyoto Judiciary Commissioners' men gathered there as well, in preparation for a battle with the Chosu. Walking proudly in front of the men, Kondo approached the government official near the gate.
会津中将松平片森様をお預かり新選組京都守護職の要請により長谷参陣申した。
Ketamori Matsudaira, the 9th generation daimyo of the Aizu domain. He holds the position of Kyoto military commander. Neat. Ketamori Matsudaira, I'm gonna say that so wrong all the time, was the lord of the Aizu domain, and also the Kyoto military commissioner, which made him a very important person. His name would have been immediately recognized. The man standing near the gate looked slightly taken aback by the mention of the Shinsengumi.
妖精だと。そのような連絡は届いておらん。
No, that didn't make any sense. What? Perhaps sensing my confusion, Saito leaned over and whispered under his breath.
内輪の情報伝達さえままならんとは、戦況によほどの混迷があると見える。
Do you mean the Chosu is overpowering the shogunate's forces?
そうとも限らん。しかし敵方に翻弄されてはいるのだろうな。
This could be tricky. The Judiciary Commissioner of the Military Commissioner had similar organizations, but they operate very differently. The Military Commissioner's office was under the jurisdiction of the Aizu domain, while the Kuwana domain controlled the Judiciary Commissioner. Kuwana domain governed by Sadaki Matsudaira, the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner. Okay. I didn't fully understand the relationships between each domain, but so far as I knew, the Aizu and the Kuwana weren't quite fond of one another.
しかし我らには会津藩からの正式な書状がある。上の者に取り次いでいただければ。
取り継ごうとも回答は同じだ。さあ帰れ。身風ごときに用はないわ。
Wolves of Mibu, a nickname given to the men who would later become the Shinsengumi. It was both a reference to their reputation and an alternate spelling of Miburo, meaning a Ronin of Mibu. How terrible. And after they'd asked for the Shinsengumi's help, I felt Harada's hand on my shoulder and turned to look up at him.
まあ、お前が落ち込むことじゃないさ。俺たちの扱いなんざいつもこんなもんだ。
But this is so galling. I wasn't truly a member of the Shinsengumi, but even so. After living with the Shinsengumi men and watching how they worked, I couldn't bear to see how they were treated, which is why this felt so wrong to me. Everyone at the Shinsengumi has worked so hard to maintain peace in Kyoto. How could these people, who were supposed to be our allies, turn away without a second thought?
ありがとうよ。だが、ここはこらえてくれ。俺らが諸次第に対して下手に騒げば、会津の顔を潰しちまうかもしれないしな。
Oh. The Kawana would only need to complain that the Shinsengumi hadn't showed them proper respect to make trouble for Aizu. All of the men, including Harada, understood what needed to be done, and they endured.
局長、諸次第では話になりません。奉行所を離れ、会津藩と合流してはいかがでしょうか。
Saito's suggestion to Kondo was rudely interrupted by Takeda.
ここを離れるだと？戦場で軍令を無視して何とするつもりだ。局長、戦場では伝令が交錯するものです。自ら動くなど愚の骨頂。今はこの場で待機すべきものと考えます。
ここが我らに与えられた陣ならば、その話わからんでもない。だが今は我が新選組の身体に関わる問題でもある。
君は新選組の戦奉行であるこの私に向かって意見を言うつもりか？いや、斉藤君の言うことにも一理ある。
Kondo nodded deeply and glanced at Saito.
我が新選組はこれより守護職が設営している陣を探す。
And with that, the Shinsengumi set off to find the soldiers of the Aizu domain. Much to Takeda's dismay, thank you. We like that. Alright, well I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.